Today is the day I am going to tackle my yarn closet. I don't like how I've dealt with it in the past. I haven't found a solution that really works for me yet. So I think it's time to try something just like radically different. I'm not going to be organizing by like yarn weight or yarn fiber, which is what I've done in the past. I'm going to be organizing by priority. So I don't know if this is going to be a huge success or a whopping failure, but to be honest, it can't really be any worse than anything else I've tried. So why not, right? If you are like me and you also struggle with organization, or you don't enjoy organization and you're definitely not like a micro organizer, this might be the video for you. We'll have to see. So I would love it if you would come along with me today while I'm working on cleaning this up. Let's get started. So totally Tetrised everything in here. And I knew this would not be a long-term solution. I definitely knew that when I put it in here. But again, this was just for family visiting. Like I said, here's what has spilled out. Got like a little chair. I can set some yarn on. It's silly. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some of this stuff out so I can get in here and actually deal with it. And I want to take, I don't know if you can see them, but do you see the Ogos right there? Well, just to the left of the Ogos right here, I have some shoe storage containers. Not like this box one with, well, I think that's a sweater container, but there's shoe ones. And I'm going to be pulling those out. And I have like a IKEA bookshelf that's maybe like 3.5, 4 feet tall that we weren't using at work. So I brought that home and I'm going to put that in there and see if that works better than the shoe storage, because I think I'd at least be able to stack better on top of it. So yeah, I will catch up with you when I get this stuff pulled out. This is why I was putting this off so much. I'm getting hot and sweaty, and I do have the floor cleaned out. I'm also super excited because I found this crochet hook. It's my N15, my 10 millimeter, and I have been looking for this forever, so I'm super excited about that. But I have completely destroyed the room just by clearing out the floor there. So, yeah, there's what the bed looks like. And I'll swing around here. Got that. All of this. Oh yeah, that is just like cringeworthy right there. So like I said, I'm making progress. I am going to try to get rid of that business, but I don't know. Yeah, I need to bring in that other shelf and see what I can do there. The rest of the room has definitely gotten worse yet again. Yeah. So yeah, if you're ever worried that yours is bad, just, you know, everybody else's is like that too. But I did get the IKEA bookshelf brought in here, and I did have 2 of those side by side. I guess it would be right there. And I have that one balancing up there. So is it perfect? Definitely not. I don't think it'll fall. Even though it is a little precarious, and I don't know, even if it does, I guess big deal. It's yarn, it's not going to break at all. So I'm going to go ahead and figure out what I want to go on there. I left most of the yarn in this sweater. I've got a bunch of touch of alpacas that I had gotten on clearance, and then there's my other touch of alpacas right there. And here is a bunch of like nicer yarns I had gotten at Hobby Lobby. You know, like ones with like a little bit nicer, like a silk blend or whatever. Here's some velvet yarn, some fur yarn, which I'm going to be going through and see what I want. And I'm probably going to be getting rid of those pastels and giving those to my friend's granddaughters. And then I did open up one up there too. So I do have a little more room. I do feel like it's progress. Yeah. It is what it is. Oh, down here, I do have some blanket yarn because I am going to attempt to redo my blanket yarn video, and I have gotten, a bunch of suggestions on like using better yarn and just kind of just working on my technique a little bit to see if I can get better results than I did on that one. So I have been working a little bit longer, and I'm definitely at that stage where I am totally overwhelmed. I am really starting to realize that my problem isn't my yarn. And I mean, I can show you, I do have a pile back here. It looks worse than it is because it's stacked on some pillows. But I've got that donate pile for my friend's granddaughters. It's those real bright ones back there. So there's that. And like I said, I've gotten some worked on here. The rest of the room is still 100% a disaster though. And I feel like I'm a disaster. And like I said, I'm definitely at that point where I'm feeling overwhelmed, and then you start questioning yourself and wondering what you're doing and why you started this project. But I honestly feel like I don't think my yarn is the problem. I'm not having trouble parting with the things that don't suit me anymore. And I've got my bin started for yarns I want to work on first. But like I said, this room is a disaster. I've got stuff pulled out. And there's definitely a few things. I got to get rid of my headband. Okay. I'm also kind of like, I look like a disaster, so sorry. I'm like the embodiment of my yarn room disaster right now. So I'm doing okay categorizing my yarn. I've got the stuff that I want to use first. Got the giveaway stuff. I have some stuff for my friend as well, like some cottons that I had thrifted that I don't think I'm going to use. I have those for her. And then I have a couple things to go back to the thrift store from whence they came, which is fine too. They were things I had picked up, that were pretty inexpensive, and just thought that I would try them out. And, I've had them for a while. I don't think I'll probably use them. So those will be going back. I did find a couple yarns that I think will work great for me pairing them with some other stuff, and I am definitely excited about that. Yeah, you can kind of see behind me over there. Well, I mean, that one thing is like right there. That's like my normal yarnscape or whatever, but yeah. I'm not super thrilled about that, but, it is what it is. I honestly am feeling the worst about all these bags I have. And I wouldn't call them project bags, but a lot of it is abandoned project bags. So I do feel kind of crappy about that. I think my plan is to go ahead and keep working through the yarn and keep getting that how I want it to, and then address the bags. But I've got a whole big tote, and it's the size of this tote here. This is all keepers. This is like stuff that's like my nice yarn. That's what's in there. I've got a whole tote that size, but it's full of abandoned projects, and I could have better yarn storage if I emptied that out and put some more yarn in there. And I'm doing okay. I have room in my closet, but I want it to be easier for me. I definitely need things to be easy. I don't like having to move things around a whole bunch, and I don't even really know what I mean by that. I'm sorry. I told you I am feeling overwhelmed at this point. So, yeah. I know everybody has been here. Earlier in the video, I was like, everybody feels this way. But then it's like different when it's you feeling that way and you're not just trying to encourage other people. So, I am going to get some lunch here soon because I think that might be contributing to me feeling overwhelmed, is just not having enough food in my tummy. I'm going to keep going on the yarn. I've gotten things worked around real quick before I go eat. I will show you in my closet and you can see what I've done there. That shelf is working out nicely there. I have filled the bottom couple well, all of that is all just like acrylic stuff right there. I think that's working out. I can definitely see some stuff I couldn't see before. I have my halos over there. And then the remaining bit of my OGO haul. And I have a couple up there. And then I do also have a couple packs of OGOs right here. So blanket yarn, all my Hirschner's Afghan. I do have a little open space down there. But yeah, some blanket yarn. And then here, this is my tote of Breathe Deep, which is discontinued. And then here's a bunch of my cottons. So this is like more utility type cotton, not necessarily like a wearable cotton. I mean, I love this yarn. I mean, it's I love this cotton. It's fairly soft, but you know. And then I've got some like more wearable type cottons back here. And then these couple random soft and sleek DKs. That's not optimal, but that's where they are. And then here I have this tote that is full of like 6-weight yarn right there. Some more stuff for like hats, basically, because I don't really have a ton of any of these. And then some of my jumbo yarns right there. I did used to have those sitting out, but I think that'll work better. And then some Christmas yarn and a little more Christmas yarn. And then way up here, I haven't touched this at all. It's where I have those giant monster balls and then some Pound of Loves. And I did have to move a few of the Pound of Loves just down there, so I can look through those if I need to. So really, this is going pretty well. Here are Sydney, if you are watching. I don't know if you know my friend Sweet Pea Sid, her channel. I always kind of give her a hard time because she has all these really great tutorials for Tunisian stitches, and I keep saying someday she's going to finally talk me into doing it, but she hasn't yet because I'm stubborn and scared. But I do have these, so just in case when that day comes. But yeah, so here is the disaster that I was talking about. There's those shoe storage things, and I think it is safe to say that I have gotten way more yarn, way better organized on that shelf. If you notice, I did have to turn that one small plastic shelf upside down. It did not work the way I had intended. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten way more, so I think that is a plus. But I am going to have to deal with this. After I eat, I'm going to come back up here and hopefully I'll feel a little more refreshed and see what I can do and start looking at some of these bags. I know there's a couple bags of FOs, but I think most of them are UFOs. So I'm not excited about that, and not really excited at the prospect of having to actually, you know, like deal with some of this stuff and see why I haven't finished it and see what needs to be done with it. So yeah, I am going to go enjoy lunch and I will check in with you real soon. I am feeling a lot better. I had a totally grown up lunch of chicken nuggets and tater tots. So totally grown up, not childish at all. Then I did set out to work more on what was going on in here. So I do have some very nice yarns packaged up for my friend's granddaughters. And over here, I have a couple things that are going to the thrift store. So I'm pretty pleased with that. It still looks like a mess in here. I'm not gonna lie, but I was actually on the floor right down over there, and I did get a lot done. So when I left you earlier, I was so upset because of Whips boxes and Whips bags. Full disclosure, I have 2 more Whip bags downstairs in a closet that I'm just not ready to deal with at this point. So I know I've got like I don't even know. But I know they haven't been touched for 6 months. But you know what? That's one problem at a time. One problem at a time. I found a headband in my stuff that was like a flop that I had made. I mean, it's got all this weird stuff and none of the popcorns, but it's not driving me nuts on my head, and it is, you know, just making me feel less self-conscious about my forehead. So got that on, and yeah, things are going pretty good. I feel like my closet's looking good. Let me show you what's kind of going on the floor. So this tote right here was full of projects. So I went through that and narrowed it down to stuff that actually was stuff that I was going to finish. So what wasn't, I took off. I snipped it and then decided if it was yarn I was going to keep, or if it was going to the thrift store, or if it's going in a scrap bin, or if it's going in my trash. Don't anybody come at me about the trash thing, because sometimes that has to be done. I'm doing what I can to donate what is donatable and use what is usable. But I really don't make amigurumi or anything, so I'm not going to use tiny bits of yarn as like stuffing or anything like that. And I feel like sometimes if you donate stuff like that to the thrift store, you know, they're going to mark it high, you know, whatever. So that is what is happening. And yes, I know there are people who can reuse things better than me, but at this point, I need to just get this clean and cleared out and make it as usable as possible. So that is what is happening. Like I said, I've got a bunch, you know, right there in the bags that I'm donating. So yeah, I guess I'm just asking, please be gentle on me and know that I'm salvaging absolutely everything that can be salvaged, but I need to keep moving, and I cannot stop and deal with like the tiny little bits of stuff at the moment. So I also apologize because I know I never film with the front facing, and I never film with a selfie stick. So that is what I am doing here. And I'm not used to it, and I don't think I'm very good at it. So I do apologize for that. But let's get this turned around and I'll show you what else I've got. Here is a bunch of yarns that were mismanaged and put in other stuff. Some of these were attached to projects, and I snipped them off and have those. I've got some random yarns here. See, I did save some. I'm going to put it here with this yarn that's just like it. And I did find, like, I love this. This isn't Buff Aaron. I can't remember what this is called, but it's the other one. And I absolutely love that. And I think there's enough to make a baby hat here. So I started a bag. Sorry, I don't know why I stammered there so much. And I did put a lot of my scraps in here that would still work for making baby hats. I think this will, even though it's striped. We'll have to see how it pans out. But yeah, I mean, there's like odd bits, but you know, it is what it is. And I spoke with the people who do these for the hospital, and they do not have to be like traditional pink and blue hats or anything like that. So I do have all my other ones that I have started on here, or that I have finished, and I'm going to put there, and I'm going to keep that stuff all together and just work on going through these odds and ends for the baby hats. So I think that'll be good. And over here is a bag of all odds and ended crochet hats and headbands that I made and didn't really like how they turned out, but there was nothing really wrong with them. So I'm going to donate these to the thrift store. So I'm going to go ahead and I think just keep work on tidying up here a little bit and catch up with you again soon. So here is what things are looking as I'm putting my totes in there. So the bottom one is whips that are actually finishable. And then the tote in the middle is, well, it looks like there's a poly mailer in the very front, but it is all like different types of notions, like buttons, slippers from the Dollar Tree, ribbon, pom-poms, any of that type of stuff. And then here is my tote of like my nice yarn. Yes, I realize it's in there really messy, but that is how it is. Like I said, we're not micro-organizing today. This was in the macro. So if I want something there or, you know, back there, I do need to pull these totes out, but this is reality for me anyway. And then I do have this little thing up here of some Velux that I frogged, and I still want to make a blanket with it, but I want to do my own trick of putting Afghan yarn with this, and I can't really decide. The color of this Velux is lilac, and I don't know, I might just end up putting a cream with it. I think that might end up being the best option. But so there is that. I'm gonna step back here. Yeah, I'm just as surprised as everyone, as it wasn't really my yarn causing me problems, that it was all of my bags and boxes of whips. So unfortunate. I do have some stuff that needs to go in another room. There's like random craft supplies that don't belong here. Some bags I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. A sack of blue ribbons. If you watched my Two Truths and a Lie, I did get 13 blue ribbons, but everyone got blue ribbons. So there is some trash. Here is a bag of FOs that need to, I need to put away or decide what to deal with. And then I did get this bin right here of yarns that I do want to use up right away. So I'm glad to have this. I am feeling pretty decent about this now. I went through a little bit of a dark phase there. I found in all of this 10 crochet hooks in all those different whip bags. And this is one of my favorite, this 5.5 Sewology one. I love this 10 millimeter boy. I don't know why I enunciated that weird. So I found 10 crochet hooks that I can put away. Very excited about that. But I feel like I did make good headway. The room is a little bit messy right now, and there's stuff on the bed, but nobody's going to be staying here for a little while, so it's not like it has to be put back together perfectly today by any means. And I think that I will probably get to the thrift store in a couple weeks, and I will talk to my friend tomorrow and see when I can deliver that yarn to her. Things are feeling a little bit more like they're shaping up. So let me show you a couple of the other things. Like a few of these things I'm not gonna lie, I did not remember having. So here is both of these thrifted. This is a Hometown. I'm gonna make myself a hat out of this. Same way with this is Premier Deborah Norville Serenity. I'm gonna make myself a hat out of this. I did remember having these, but they were in more of my like utility cotton. And this is Yarn Bee Cotton XXL in the color Cognac. There is 50 yards and I have 2 of them. So I know with this I can make a hat out of that one pattern that I really like from Lovingly Nigh. So I know I could make it using this, and I think I would really like that. And then I did find also when I was in that cotton, one skein of this Feelin' Chunky in Spice. There's 75 yards. This is only a 5, so I don't know if I would have to pair it with something else to make it, you know, stretch it a little bit longer, like turn it more into a 6 by pairing it with another yarn. I will just have to find out, but that is in the priority bin. This I had gotten several years ago, and it is Ice Cream Cotton Blend. It's the Lion brand, and it is a cotton poly blend. I absolutely love this. This was the color chocolate, and they do not make this anymore, but I would really like to make myself something out of this. So I love the colors in it. I don't know what I will end up making. There's 225 yards. Maybe if I can find something else to pair it with, I can do a triangle scarf and have like this be stripes in it or something. I think I would really like that. And since, I mean, it's like light and spongy, so this isn't terribly exciting. This is some crafter's secret. But I have a project I want to work on with this, and I'm Not going to say what it is yet. Here is this Drops Fable print. So this is superwash sock wool. And let me put it up here for you. So it's 224 yards. It is 75% wool, 25% polyamide. I had gotten this when I ordered the Drops yarn from Laughing Hen. And so, you know, I have got like 675 yards here. And this will be coming in a project at the end of the month that I am doing with Mary from Slow Crochet. So I'm not going to go into any more detail about it, but I do really love the colors in this. I have no idea how it'll look worked up. I don't know if it'll work for what I want it to, but we're going to go ahead and try it. But I did think I was going to have to pair it with something, and I did pick out this. What is this? This is Cocoa from the Hirschner's Afghan yarn. So I thought those worked pretty well because there is some really dark brown in there as well. So that is what I have in my use first bin. Whoops, sorry about moving the camera there. My yarn got a little crazy. And I'm not going to be going over all of these in depth, but as you can see, I went through and you can see from the bags that everything I picked out for my friend's granddaughters is real, like, bright and colorful. Some of these were thrifted, and some of these were clearance yarns that I got for, you know, just like $1.97, you know, $2 around there. Whoops. Yeah, $1.24 with the Hobby Lobby. I did throw in 2 of these retro stripes, and here's the thing. I absolutely love the retro stripe. I think it is so fun. I think it's adorable. I made a little girl's cocoon cardigan out of it. Absolutely love it. It looks very cute paired with like a white but the reality is, I realize this is not me. Like, I can love it, I can appreciate it, but this does not really speak to me. And I've already done one project out of it and loved it. Since I am passing along all these other fun, bright colors, I thought I would put the retro stripe in there as well. Yeah, and so then here's just a few more kind of bright colors in here too. And some of these were actually gifted to me by a family member that decided not to use them. So I am very happy about being able to pass those along to the girls. And I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm not going to have the room cleaned up to be able to give you like, you know, like a grand tour of it all clean during this video, because I do want to get this out because I've literally been talking about it for months. But I do feel good where I'm at, and I think that by doing things by priority, like I said, I've got all the yarns I want to use for the baby donations together, my used first ones, you know, my nice yarns. By grouping them together and not so much looking at the weight or the fiber or whatever, I think there's a greater chance of me using them because I can just go to that bin and know. Now, some of them I did keep together, like my Christmas yarn, I kept all together. And then I put all the like utility cotton together. So it's not like it's totally new and revolutionary or anything like that, but I do think it should work pretty well. And I like having all those yarn scrap type stuff for the baby donations. I think that'll be easy when I'm just looking for like a project to work on going to work and back. I think that'll work out. Hopefully I wasn't so much of a hot mess that it was hard for you to watch. I know sometimes it can be. I'm really hoping that when I go through and try to put this footage together, I'm really hoping I don't have to scrap it. I mean, we'll see. But whether or not this sees the light of day, I am still glad it's done. I'm glad I'm giving it another try. I'm glad I'm trying it a different way because, you know, you just got to keep moving forward. And at some point you find something that works. Thank you for bearing with me through all of that. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, please remember, if you are having trouble and your yarn room is a mess, you are not alone. We are all right there with you. Thank you so much for talking yarn with me. Bye.